Amazing, very awesome. The chapter of today in Fields of Glory 2, we're going to do the Bagradas battle, the Carthaginian victory in the First Punic War. I'm going to divide the video in 3 parts. The first part is going to be a little bit of background, the history behind the situation that led Regulus to the fields and the plains in front of Tunis near Carthage, and where Xanthippos, the Greek, the mercenary Spartan Greek, is going to face the Consul Regulus. The second part is going to be a little bit of Fields of Glory, and then the third part is going to be the battle itself. Thank you all. Let's begin. The Battle of Bagradas, or also called the Battle of Tunis in 255 BC. I'm going to show you a little bit of the background here. So this is the infant Rome, and we have a huge opponent on the Mediterranean for the Romans. So basically, let me show you here. Rome has roughly this area, and one can say that Rome has become the master of the Italian peninsula at this point. Carthage, on the other hand, is the maritime power. So they possess plenty of land in Hispania, and also they have Corsica and Sardinia, including most of Sicily and North Africa. The small part that is not controlled by the Phoenicians or Carthaginians is this part over here, which is controlled by the Syracusans, which are Greeks. So what is happening here is that at the time of the First Punic War, the Romans are going to have a dispute in the area of Messina, and they are going to invade this area here, and they are going to take Messina for themselves. Obviously, the Carthaginians are not very happy about this, because this is part of their territory. So the Syracusans are very, very frightened about this situation. And we all know at this point, as I just mentioned at the beginning, that the Carthaginians are a maritime power. They have been dominating the seas. I'm going to show you here the small quinquereme that I have prepared here. Oops. So let me try to move it. There you go. So this is to represent the power of the Carthaginians by sea. They have triremes, biremes, quinqueremes, you name it. Those are the basically there are a lot of types of ships, vessels in this time period. But the Romans are specialists on ground. So as the Romans advance in Messina, they are going to take a lot of areas in Sicily, but they are not going to be able, or at least they are not going to be so quick in moving on sea, because obviously very rapidly the Carthaginians are going to destroy them on the sea. So they are going to be faced with this situation in which they need to take control of the sea ASAP. In some of the battles that are going to ensue in this conflict, the First Punic War, by the way, it's called Punic because that's the way the Romans called the Phoenicians. So they are going to take one quinquereme. The quinquereme is the best of the best. It's the dreadnought of the era. So they are going to take one quinquereme and they are going to reverse engineer the thing, and they are going to create a freaking army, a freaking fleet of quinquiremes. Now, you are going to say, well, they are going to create 330, something like that, quinquiremes, and they are going to throw the quinquiremes against the Carthaginians. So this is the Roman quinquireme, okay? So now the Romans have a quinquireme. They just reverse engineer the thing. They know how to do the tool. But you're going to say, wait, how are they going to win this against so amazing seafarers, warriors, and people that are very, very well versed in the all things fleets and boats and stuff like that? Well, they are not. They are going to create a quinquireme very, very badly, so to speak. But the thing that they are going to implement in this, just because they know that no they don't have any opportunity against the Phoenicians in on the sea, but they are going to be so clever, and they are going to create a tool on the boat, on the quinquireme, and I'm going to show you here. It is the corvus. The corvus here. This is the image of the corvus. So basically, what this is a bridge with a with a hook. So basically, what this is going to do, this is very clever. So they are going to move, they are going to battle together, and they are going to clash the fleets. So basically, this is a bridge that the Romans would implement on the hull of the ship, and they are going to throw the bridge into the opponent's ship, and then they are going to be able to board the ship. And not only that, the other ship, the opponent's ship, is going to be stuck, and they were not going to be able to maneuver, and thus they will take away from the Carthaginians the ability to destroy them in their realm, the sea. And they are going to transform the sea into their realm, which is land. And they're going to destroy the Carthaginians in their own speciality, which is the sea. So this invention is going to shift the history forever, because in the battle of in the south of Sicily, and at the battle of Ecnomus, 330 triremes, biremes, quinquiremes made by the Romans, and another hundreds of another quinquiremes and biremes, whatnot, of the Phoenicians are going to clash in the Battle of Ecnomus. And perhaps the Battle of Ecnomus is, up to this point, considered the biggest naval encounter in the ancient history. So this is going to be huge. The Romans, commanded by Atilius Regulus, they are going to defeat in Ecnomus the majority of the fleet of the Phoenicians, and by doing this, they're going to be able to land. They're going to defeat them here in Ecnomus, and then the Romans are going to be able to land their troops near Carthage in a place called Bagradas. And they are going to meet with the Carthaginians on land. At this point, the Carthaginians will hire the experienced mercenary, Greek mercenary, Spartan mercenary, Xanthippos. Xanthippos is going to train the Carthaginians, and he is going to devise the battle formation that we're going to experience right now in Fields of Glory. the battle formation of a line of phalanx, a further line of elephants, and cavalry. They are going to win, and some say that this is because of the Spartan training given by Xanthippos. But this is not going to mean that the war was won by the Carthaginians. However, the battle of the Bagradas River is going to be won by the Carthaginians, and we're going to do that in Fields of Glory. So let's go to Fields of Glory. So here we are, Bagradas 255 BC. They see side 1 Carthaginian, side 2 Roman. The good thing is that you are in the right place because I'm going to show you how do you access these. So where do you find that? In Field of Glory 2, the main menu, you go to this area here, battles, and you find the epic battles, where here you're going to see all the modules that are paid. These are DLC, and the one that is included in the vanilla one is this one over here. It's called Rise of Rome, and then you launch it and it's going to load you all the scenarios that are inside this module, and there are a lot. For example, there are some Tara. For example, we only have the option to select the Romans. In the other, I think that's the only one that you can choose just Romans. The other ones, even though it's called the epic battles of the modules from these from the Rise of Rome, you can do the battle being the opponent of Rome, because in all of these battles, these are battles from all over the time frame of the Roman Empire, and you're going to be either way, it doesn't matter, you're going to be using or controlling the Romans, so you cannot go away from that. We're going to choose the winning side. Okay, so Bagradas, the first Punic war between the rival expanding powers of Rome and the North African Phoenician colony of Carthage, began in 264 BC, fought on land and sea. The bulk of the fighting was in Sicily, with fortunes favoring first one side, then the other. We already talked about this on the first part of the video, in which I explain the background. In 256 BC, the Romans, under the command of the Consul Marcus Atilius Regulus, invaded Africa. They easily defeated the first Carthaginian army sent against them, and Carthage was ready to accept terms. However, the terms Regulus demanded were so severe that the Carthaginians resolved to keep on fighting. They raised a new army consisting of citizens' levies, supplemented by Greek mercenaries and 100 elephants. They placed the army under the command of the mercenary Spartan general Xanthippos. As the Roman advanced on Carthage, the armies met on the Bagradas plain. The historical victor, the Phoenicians, Carthaginians. Aftermath, the war continued until 241 BC, when Carthage finally had to admit defeat. Carthage was forced to abandon its colonies in Sicily and to pay massive war reparations. And this is just going to be the beginning of 3 devastating wars against these two titans. Okay, so Battle of Bagradas, North Africa, 255 BC. We already know this. Routing at least 40%, 25 more than you have lost, or routing 60% of the troops. Xanthippos has formed up the Carthaginian army with masked elephants in the center and his infantry behind, Greek mercenaries on the right, and Carthaginian citizens' infantry on the left. Now let's start figuring this thing, because Greek mercenaries are not so reliable. in this time period, Carthaginian citizens are poorly trained militia. So it's difficult to believe that he managed to do this, but nevertheless he did it. Regulus has formed the Roman army up in an extra deep formation in the hope of countering the Carthaginian elephants. The superior Carthaginian cavalry are deployed on both wings and may be able to envelop the Roman army, and that is pretty much exactly what he did. So let me show you here the Roman army. You can see here how this army is formed in maniple. So it is formed in a checkerboard pattern. We have the most weak of the line in the front, so on and so forth. We begin with the Hastatii, Principes, and Triarii. Now, the Romans in this battle are not going to use too much of a cavalry. They have simple two generals here, armored cavalry in both sides. In comparison, Xanthippos has Numidians and has as well Gallic Spanish cavalry, Iberians, including Libyan Phoenician cavalry in this other side. The Romans have light javelin men or velites. I don't remember if here there's a distinction in between velites and the light javelin men. I think this is the same thing. Basically, we have a complete normal maniple legion formation from the Romans in this side, and here we have the Xanthippos way of deployment. He's going to deploy elephants in the front. Obviously, he's going to use Numidian light javelin men. I think there are archers. I'm not sure. I think there's not. So they are simply Numidian light javelin men. In this time period, it is paramount to use light infantry, light skirmishers, because all of the armies have the same structure. Here we have, this is Xanthippos over here, back here, and as you can see, the cavalry wings of the Greek general are very, very powerful in comparison with the Romans. Even though the Romans have this maniple formation in front of us, we have more maneuverability, and we can basically encircle them, and that's what they did. He knew that the citizen militia and the mercenaries were not so reliable against the order and discipline of the legionaries, but he has the elephants. The Romans in this time, they were not too accustomed to deal with elephants. Elephants were pretty much the tanks of the time, and not so many cultures used them. It was very scary just to imagine a huge elephant charging against you, and the only thing that you can do is to stab the elephant with your gladius or throw a pilum, something like that. It must have been very, very frightening to see that huge creature charging against you. Now, pretty much the technique that he's going to use here is to throw the elephants in front of the maniples, use the skirmishers to peel out the first line, and then at the same time he's going to use the cavalry to move the cavalry to the rear, and as quickly as possible he's going to hold the line with the citizen militia and mercenaries, because it is said that Xanthippos trained them in the style of the Spartan training. They were very well trained, as Polybius says. So this is pretty much the plan. We're going to do exactly as it is said in the sources, and we're going to try to win the battle the same way as Xanthippos. These are small figurines, but we're just putting the theory in action here, and we are going to see if that holds true for us, and hopefully we're going to win this battle. Okay guys, how amazing is this beautiful battle? Let's begin. So, I was having a look at this. Let me go on zoom in a little bit, because what is a wargame with figurines without having a look at them? So we need to take a look here. We have Phoenician style foot over here. All of those are the Phoenicians that were trained, and here we have the mercenary hoplites. According to the battle, Xanthippos placed the Phoenician style foot in the center, and in both sides he decided to put the same amount of mercenaries in both wings. However, in here we have some sort of a reserve here. This is a reserve of Phoenician style foot, as it is listed here. These guys have medium foot, and they have average quality. And the mercenaries, in the other hand, these beautiful guys, as you can see, I love how this game depicts these small figurines. So here we have heavy foot. Now take a look at this. This thing here is medium foot, and this is heavy foot. One is light spear and the other one is offensive spearman. So we will assume that these guys have better quality in terms of attacking. And then we have the Numidian light javelin men. Here we have them. These are light foot, average javelin, light spear. And the elephants. The beautiful elephants here have just different colors. So that's pretty much it. I think these two are the same. Over here we have more intimate close-up for the small and beautiful subgeneral here. This is subgeneral Libyan Phoenician cavalry. These are superior. We have a bunch of them here. These are Gallic instead. And we can see that the difference in between both is that these guys, if I'm not mistaken, this is the Corinthian helmet. And these guys have the Iberian Gaulish style helmet, as you can see. And then we have the Numidians, which are pretty much light horse average. These guys are superior quality, as I mentioned before, and these guys as well are light spear, swordsman, superior cavalry, which is pretty much the same. The thing is that the Iberians are protected, whilst the Phoenician cavalry are armored. And we have the same structure over here in this side. So pretty nice in our side, inside of Xanthippos. Now let's go ahead and see these guys here. These are the light javelin men, light foot, average quality. They are unprotected with light spear and javelins. Actually, they have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They have slightly more than us, but we have the elephants. Over here we see the subgeneral, and the general, I think, is this one. No, that's another subgeneral. Where's the general? Here it is. Marcus Atilius Regulus is part of this unit here. This is Hastati Principes. And back in here we have the beautiful Triarii. Look at these small guys. I love how they move their feet as if they are tired. So the Triarii are heavy foot, highly superior. The Principes, I'm going to see Marcus Atilius Regulus, the general here. This guy is heavy foot, above average, and have some armor. These guys instead are armored. offensive spearmen, and these guys are impact foot swordsmen. And down here we have the javelins, as I said before. Finally, the armored cavalry, which is basically nothing. This is to represent the small amount of cavalry that Atilius Regulus brought into this battle. It was 250 from both sides. So this is representing actually 250 because down there, down the AP number, it says strength 230. So it's pretty accurate in those terms. And that's it. I think some of those have mail, some of those don't. Pretty nice. Okay. Now, the important thing here is to note that we are in a plain. So there are no mountains here. So let's begin. We don't have the possibility to deploy here. They are already deployed. So what I'm going to do is to begin with the situation. So the first thing is to send the cavalry rounding here. I'm going to round the legions in both sides. I'm going to try to envelop both sides. So let's begin. Let's take these guys here. So basically what I'm going to do is to move them in the whole command. And finally, I'm going to turn them, if it's possible. They still have... No, they don't have AP. Let me see something. Let me open the tools here. Where is the general? This is the general, and we have total command range. Okay. So let's turn these guys here. Okay, this one is not able to turn. Then we turn this one and this one. Okay, perfect. Now let's take these guys here. Send them here. Let's group turn them. And let's see if we can turn. No, we can't. That's it. So I think we're good with the cavalry. These guys cannot do anything. These guys just have this tiny force here. And the next step is to send the elephants. Now, they were formed like this because they wanted, or they expected the elephants to pass through their lines and then caught them in between with the spears. But what happened in the actuality was that the elephants just disrupted all the thing. And the other important thing to take into account here is that these guys, usually the maniples were they presented a wide front. In this case, they formed in a deep formation. So this means that they presented a narrower front. So basically that was the mistake of Atilius Regulus. Let's send the slingers, the median javelin men, sorry, to the front. These guys have one square. They can shoot one square in front of them. And the elephants. Let's see. Let's move the whole group here. Now there's a thing here about well, actually I cannot move these guys separately, so I'm gonna move the Xanthippos slightly to the front. And I think that's it. So let's end the turn. There they come. In front of us. There you go. Okay. We're very close with the elephants over here. Okay, let's take all of these guys here, one by one. These are the Numidian javelin men. Let's move them here. The whole idea here is that when we hold the line and we start to envelop them, then we have the Numidians coming around here and starting to pour the javelins into the triarii. What they did here is quite interesting. They move a triarii in this direction. Perhaps they are trying to advance in here, seeing that I'm trying to do this maneuver. But thinking about how they are now very close to me in here, and if I throw the elephants, evidently these guys are going to run away from the elephants. But I cannot do that because if there's another unit in front of the elephant, as you can see here, then if I throw the elephant, the movement is stopped by these guys here. So I would have to move these guys from here if I want to penetrate here. And that poses, at least to me at this point, a little bit of a problem. Let's see, I can send the cavalry, but in Fields of Glory, there's this thing that if you want to turn the actual figurines, sorry, if you want to charge the guys that are behind your figurine, you need to turn the figurine first. And that means to lose quite a lot of action points. Basically, the whole action points are going to be lost if I turn this guy here. So what I'm going to do is, let me see, perhaps move this one here. No, because if I move this one, then I don't have enough points to turn it. So what if I move? What if I move this one here? Perhaps I can move. No, still I can't. I would have to leave quite a few guys here. Let's remember that, there you go, Gallic Spanish. We have 3 and 3. Let's see if that's the same thing. No, here we have more Libyan Phoenician cavalry. Here we have 2 Gallic Spanish cavalry here. In here we have more. The Gallic Spanish cavalry are very, very well equipped to take this guy here. So I can turn the Libyan Phoenician cavalry instead and charge against these guys here, just to make room for the elephants to charge. The other thing is that I can move the elephants through the gaps here, and that could be one thing. Let me think about it. Yeah, let's see. I could. Okay, here's a gap here. Let's do this. This is going to take the whole AP for this elephant. Well, 21 elephants, 20 elephants, 19 elephants. They are named by numbers. So the elephant 31, I'm gonna move here. Am I ready to take this guy here? Let me think. Actually, you know what? I'm going to deal with these guys first. So I could. Let me move. Let me move here. Okay, let's turn these guys. So I'm gonna use these guys to charge against this one. I think one is going to be enough. I don't think I need all of them. So still I'm going to move this one here. And I'm going to turn it just to make sure that this guy is not charging against Phoenician Cavalry 46. And thus I can advance here. So let's move here. Let's go for this one here. There we go. Okay, and now in this other side, I'm gonna do quite the same. So I'm moving this guy here, sending this guy here. So I'm gonna make sure this guy is not trying to take advantage of this movement. Move this one here, and the two Spanish Gallic cavalry moving here. Okay, excellent. Okay, perfect. Let's see how it looks in here. Okay. Looking good. Okay, now. This guy's here. Let's send... Gonna turn this one here. Move this one here. Cannot turn. And this one I'm gonna turn. And then this guy's I'm gonna move here. There we go. I'm gonna take these three here in this 3, 4, well, I'm gonna move this one here. Okay, so then okay, let's do this. And how to deal with this, guys. Okay. That was a good hit. Another thing is that I can charge against these guys. So, for example, okay, let's do this. Then I can move here with the elephant. That's a good position. That's another good position for the elephant in this side. So, let's do this. 25, quite good. Excellent. Now these guys are disrupted. Let's do this one. Wow, that was a good hit. There we go. Okay, they charged against me. Let's see. And this is exactly what I was expecting. Okay, there you go. Well. They're shifting their position to their... that would be their left. I don't remember if in the actual battle they managed to push the left flank. I don't remember if it was the left or the right flank. Are you new to the channel? Here you get historical content, guides to play better, analysis of awesome stuff, super engaging stories. Are you aware of what you are missing already? You won't regret it. Hit that subscribe button now. This guy didn't charge, which is quite interesting. And these guys, they are just here in front of the elephant because they know that, well, they are trying to stop the elephant from pushing aside. Now I see that these guys are moving, and as I said, shifting to their left. So this means that I can hit them here with the elephants. That would be so awesome to do. Let's try to do this. Okay, first I'm going to do this. They held. Okay, then I can... let me charge in here. That was good. That was good. Look at this. 219, 227. The Numidian light javelin men that are disrupted, 49, and these are the 3. Could we damage them? Let me see. Okay, let's spin this guy here. Well, I was not expecting this. Now, these guys are very deep into the enemy lines. Let me charge against this. Let's fix this right side first. Okay, so I can charge here. Are you kidding me? The enemy general is fallen? Oh my god. So we just killed Regulus. Regulus has fallen. Let me see. Gonna move here. Push this Gallic cavalryman here. And then this guy here. Let me just turn this one here. And I'm gonna move the Numidians back in here. Okay, this side is looking good. And now deciding what to do with the elephant. But before that, I just want, let me see. Yeah. Let me move this guy here. Turn. Okay, this is my plan. I'm going to use 3 of these in the center just to reinforce the fact that, for example, there could be a moment in which there is going to be needed a little bit of reinforcement in the center. And I'm going to push these guys here. So I'm going to place them here so we have a more extended line. Okay. Finally, we know that these guys are engaged in here. So let me push these guys here. These are... I think we can do this. Okay, this is good. Okay, so then I would move this one here. I'm not afraid of this guy here right now, so I can charge against this. And I can push in here. There we go. Okay, beautiful. Now, what to do here? Could we... Okay, there we go. Just do this. Now I'm free to charge in front of these guys. Now, let's see. Should I... let's do this. Well, they disrupted my own troops here. So let me push in here. Okay, let's move this one here so I can wait for whatever happens here, and then I charge in here, I think. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna charge. That's excellent. I'm gonna bring these guys here. There you go. Look at this. Well, 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 he's charging against the Gallic cavalry. So we just fragmented two of them here. Okay, let's see. Look at this Hastadii facing these guys here, so I'm gonna move here. Hopefully. Okay, he's evading me. Rear attack, we disrupted him. Something beautiful. Now I can charge. Okay, push these guys here. Guys, if you are enjoying this, subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this community of wargamers. Okay, now, because of the proximity of these guys, I'm going to pull back. Gonna move these guys here and turn. That was an amazing hit. I don't know if these Hastadii are weak. Look at this guy. Or these Numidian light javelin men, they were truly trained in the arts of the Spartans. Okay. So again, let's bring this guy here. Let's do this. Those guys break. Okay. Let's fix this here. Let me turn. I'm gonna pass through, why not? I'm going to be able to shoot at these guys that are putting their backs at me. That was a waste of javelins. Let's charge here. Okay, let's do this. And charge here. Okay, it's time to disrupt all the lines here. Perhaps I can do this. Okay, and then move here. Excellent. We're going to overwhelm them. We get closer with him. There we go. And the turn. Oh, that's everything.